ke ci gaba da neman haɗin kan al'umma da ci gaba da ba su goyon baya wajen ƙarfafa harkoki na ci gaba da
ake radio led by their station manager Zainab Adam has paid a courtesy visit to the newly appointed zonal director of NTA Maiduguri. Olanwaju Habib reports that the visit was to congratulate Mohamed Adam Dirbita on his appointment as the new zonal director.
The visit by the management team of SMK Radio was aimed at congratulating the newly appointed zonal director, Mohamed Adam Dirbita, and to discuss areas of collaboration between the two media organizations. The zonal director, NTA Maiduguri, Mohamed Adam Dirbita, expressed gratitude for the visit and thanked the SMK Radio team for recognizing his new position. He described the gesture as encouraging and a unity within the media industry.
Being our products, I know with the discipline we have in NTA, I think you are making from the what we are hearing on the air, you are doing very great on that stations.
During the meeting, Zainab Adam shared a personal reflection on her early days at NTA Maiduguri, where she began as a volunteer. She spoke with pride about how the experience shaped her career and expressed gratitude to the station for its role in her professional journey.
Many of our parents, or let me say, many of us rely on NTA for our daily information consumption, considering the region we are in. That's why we are here to congratulate the zonal director.
The SMK Radio presented a gift to the zonal director by the coordinating director on behalf of the station. The gathering concluded on a friendly note with cheerful conversation and shared memories. In Maiduguri, Olanrewaju Habib, NTA News.
Once a symbol of the bus station caused by Boko Haram insurgency, Monguno local government area is today telling a new story, one of resilience, recovery, and hope. As the security situation improves, the people began to rebuild their lives, especially with farmers determined to reclaim their occupation and returning to their fields. Filin Kujebana has the situation reports.
The scares of displacement, destruction of property and loss of lives. However, with the courage of the Nigerian military and other security forces, the town is bouncing back. Farmlands are now accessible, herders move without fear, and commercial activities are gradually thriving. In support of this recovery, federal and state governments have restored dilapidated structures, constructed new state-of-the-art facilities, and initiated projects that signal a return to normalcy.
Monguno, about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, you can't even come here. When we were to site the Federal Polytechnic in Monguno, even the army could not, accompany some of us. But you can see now, without fear, everybody is moving about his normal business. I must commend the Nigerian army.
Amidst these feats, security agencies are urging residents to strengthen this progress by providing timely intelligence to help sustain the peace in the area.
Now Monguno is very calm and very peaceful. We thank His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Professor Wagana Marazilum CONM FNC. He made a lot of efforts to restore peace in our locality. And also we thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. We have only one eye hospital before and one dental hospital and one college of nursing in the whole of the state. Now he constructs a new dental and eye hospital and the college of nursing in Monguno, also an edit in Goza. Inshallah, we maintain these facilities.
What I did to improve the security situation within Monguno was to make sure, yes, there is a constant patrol. But within the town, I introduced night and day patrols within the town. Likewise, in the various routes we have from Monguno to Marte, we had a constant patrol also.
As Monguno continues on its path to recovery, the farming community is filled with hope. In Maiduguri, Filin Kujebana, NTA News.
A 14-year-old Halima Yerima, battling with waist bone dislocation for the past 2 years, is seeking for financial support from the general public to enable her undergo surgery. Filin Manoma reports.
This is 14-year-old Halima Yarima, who has been battling with a debilitating condition, a waist bone dislocation which has been worsened by her ongoing struggle with sickle cell disease. The condition has left her with a noticeable not only been affected by her health, but forced her to drop out of school. Doctors at Specialist Hospital in Maiduguri have recommended surgery as a potential corrective measure for Halima Yarima's condition. The estimated cost of the surgical procedure, according to management of the hospital, is 5 million naira. Halima Yarima is therefore
wannan gwamnati ta jajirce noma mu tashi mu kama mai noman gero.
Daga general aka tura mu Kano, mun je Kano mun dawo a kudin da ake nema ya fi karfin mu. Please da Allah a taimake ni.
Anyone willing to assist her should please contact NTA Maiduguri Newsroom or call 080 36186947 or 08036257362. In Maiduguri, Evelyn Mwesugwa, NTA News.
And that has been news for tonight. I am Kegama Mustafa. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
Shinkafa, dankali, doya, alkama. Gwamnati ta ware maƙudai na tallafawa manoma. Lalle an yi tunani mai kyau da taimako al'umma. Abinda nake nuni a gare ku ku shugabanni kuma ina so a ce ku dan ba da lokaci ku ga ya kan kama har mu yi karfin noma abincin da zai isa kasar mu.
The Genetic Improvement with Millet and Barley in Nigeria, that's Lecture Research Institute here in Maiduguri, the state capital, being aired weekly at this hour at the NTA Zonal Network Center here in the state capital. My name is Mohammed Abbasali, your usual anchorman in this program. In this week's edition of the program, which has a national mandate for the genetic improvement of millet and of course the total farming system of all the popular food crops grown in the Northeast Agroecological Zone. And in this vein, we have been looking at millet production in Borno State, Northeast, the Northeastern situation reports across all locations. And in this week's edition of the program, we shall be looking at the status or the stages of our millet crops across Borno and some other parts of the country where millet is being produced. And also in this week's edition of the program, if time permits, we shall be looking at a very of millet with leguminous crops like groundnut, cowpea, and the likes. All this will come your way in this week's edition of the program. And if, of course, if time permits, we shall be looking at a very timely activity that's harvesting. We understand that in this second week of September, of the program. Once again, welcome to Farmers Time. My name remains Mohammed Abbasadi, and I have a very important guest in the program, a very usual place in this program, the program leader, Millet Research of Lecture Research Institute, in the person of Dr. Mariam Abado. Doctor, topics or areas that we shall be looking at in this week's edition of the program. And to start with, Doctor, millet generally produced across Borno State and other parts of the country. This is the second week of September 2025, how can we assess from the reports reaching us and some of the places you must have visited, what are the stages of our crops at this particular time?
Yeah, thank you for this. But remember this season, we experienced climate change. Mm-hmm. Of course, it has been with us for some time, but especially this season, where we experienced rains late.
Okay.
Yeah, compared to the previous years. Yeah, exactly. So because of that, farmers planted late. In most of the locations, they planted late compared to the previous years. Yeah, so because of that, as a result of that late planting, still some farmers, their field have flowered, meaning it has it has passed the flowering stage. Okay. The grains are kind of at the filling stage, grain filling stage now, meaning you can see grains, but they are tender, they are very soft. So they are still not matured. While others that planted early, a bit early, maybe they experienced rains earlier than some of the locations, they are at harvesting stage now. Wow. Some farmers have started harvesting actually. Great. And especially if they grow our improved varieties, those early maturing varieties, like Chakti, all these LCIC series, our Lecture Research Institute release materials. So especially those farmers that planted those materials are really now harvesting their materials. Okay. While others are now at the grain filling stage. Okay. It has set grain, but the grains are not yet matured for them to harvest. So this is what is going on in terms of the physiology of the crop itself. Okay. Yes.
Not so much developed, have not reached the flowering stage or the grain filling stage, as you said.
Yeah.
Those ones, is there any hope of them coming up?
Yes, they will come up, sure. Okay. They will come up. Okay. I'm just saying what is on ground right now, but they will come up. But that means they are at the second stage. Those ones are harvesting, while you will still wait for 2 to 3 weeks before you go there, before you reach that stage. Okay. Yes.
Is there any operations like weeding or fertilizer application or any other something that could be done for them to beef up the growth of the development?
I think they are done with all those stages of fertilizer application and then weeding. What those people are facing right now, our farmers are facing right now, because the grains have developed, is a bird attack.
Okay.
Yeah, in areas where there are birds, birds are also hungry. They are looking for food.
Yes.
Yeah, so there are bird attacks in some areas. There are grasshopper attacks. And then because of this, in some of these areas, there is still flooding. They experience flooding. And the humidity is very, very high. So this flood, coupled with the humidity, it causes diseases.
Okay.
So apart from the pest attack, that is the grasshopper and the birds attack, there are also experience in other places, farmers experience ergot disease and mold.
Okay.
Instead of you to see clear grain, you will see the grain being molded, looking dark.
Okay.
And then the ergot, you will see the grains with something like honey on it. Yeah, so those are the diseases and the pest attacks that are currently attacking most of the crops at this stage.
Doctor, talking about this infestation, the likelihood of this infestation, what is the way out?
The way out, let me start with the birds attack and the grasshopper. The only thing you can do is to scare those birds and grasshoppers for some time before you harvest. They come when grains are ready. And for you to harvest, it will take some weeks, maybe 2 weeks.
Okay.
Then that means you have to employ how to scare those birds, and yes, maybe using scarecrows or using those tapes. Yeah, there are so many methods depending on the location. Yes, bird scaring methods that you use. You adopt any of these that you think is okay for you, and then you deter. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Doctor. You did mention a very important operation, that's harvesting.
Oh, yes.
And you said in some locations, some farmers have actually started harvesting because maybe some of them have used the early maturing varieties, maybe from the Research Institute, and some planted quite early. And the likelihood or the challenges of the perceived or rather experienced climate change did not actually affect them, so the crops are now ready for harvest.
Sure.
The best way to harvest is what we want to tell our farmers now. You see, in most cases, people will just go harvesting, they just do whatever to see that the end justifies the means. That's just to cut off.
Yeah.
Is there any prescribed ways or the most prepared way of doing this harvesting so as not to have yield losses and
Exactly.
all of that?
Yeah, exactly. Usually farmers do harvest with either knife or sickle. So as the plant is standing, some farmers cut the panicle and then leave the standing plant in the field. They just take their interest is the panicle, and then they later on come back for the stand itself, either to use it for their fencing or to feed their animals. While other farmers cut it from the root. I'm not saying they will dig the root, but from the bottom. Yes, they cut it, they fall it down, the entire plant. They fall the entire plant, and then, and that time, they are going to do it when the plants are, the grains are, is dry.
Oh.
Yes, the grain has to be dry. So they will cut it and then leave it in the field to dry more. Because remember, they are going to store this seed. You fall all the field, the millet field. There are termites and other insects, and then some other soil-borne diseases, and soil-borne diseases that may attack the seed, so that if you grow it next season, it will be affected.
Okay.
Yes, so allow it to dry very well, then you harvest the panicle or the whole plant if you want, then you take it home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, viewers. Farmers Time coming to you from NTA Zonal Network Center here in Maiduguri State Capital, being sponsored by Lecture Research Institute, the institute that has the national mandate for the genetic improvement of wheat, millet, and barley in Nigeria. And we'll be talking about millet production in Borno State and the country as a whole. And you can hear from our guests have actually started planting. Those with the early maturing varieties and those that are planted quite early. farm have reached the harvesting period. Some have actually started harvesting, and those that are rather left behind or have not to their Nigeria farmers, the farmers time from ATA Zonal Network Center here in the state capital. Thank you very much. Dr. Mariam,
yes,
another
please.
very important operation that I guess mostly been practiced by our farmers is this issue of intercrop.
Yeah.
Hardly can you see farmers millet farm with groundnut, either groundnut or cowpea, or sesame, or in some cases you see the combination of almost 2-3 crop, or rather crop being planted alongside the millet. Why this practice?
I think I will start by saying it's a kind of, we inherited it from our forefathers, and it's a good practice.
Okay.
Why? Because millet has deep root.
Okay.
Because it has deep root, it can go deep to look for water and nutrient.
Okay.
While those other crops like cowpea, groundnut, sesame have shallow root.
Okay.
That means they cannot go as deep as millet or sorghum to look for water and nutrient.
Okay.
So from the beginning of rainy season, if you say you will plant maybe cowpea, groundnut, or sesame, that means you know the water level in the soil. It's not very high. It's still down there, steep. It cannot get there. So from experience, our forefathers now knew that at that time, intercropping the two means it will help the millet get kind of food called nitrogen.
Good.
Easily make it get nitrogen. So since we all know NPK, it makes it easy for the millet to get the N. Yes, they have that ability, inherent ability to fix that N for millet to get. So that means bringing them. Thirdly, you are now using the same piece of land to get what you want.
Maybe that's the economic benefit.
Exactly. You are using the same piece of land to get what you are assisting millet with nitrogen. And then at the same time, when if you face any challenge because of this climate change, maybe drought, maybe insect pests that you didn't expect, things like that, I'm sure it will not come and wipe all.
How do we go about it?
Yes.
Because across regions and across societies, those operations may differ.
Exactly.
What you may see, maybe here in Borno, may not necessarily be the same with, in other millet producing states like in the northwest.
Exactly.
Kano, Sokoto, Katsina, and the rest. Scientifically and under research, and have you been interacting with farmers?
Exactly.
Can you now advise our farmers the best way of intercrop and the best composition of the crops? Millet with what, at what time?
Exactly. If you want to intercrop millet and groundnut, you do it early. That's what I'm saying, maybe like last month. For millet and cowpea, it can be maybe just last week or 2 weeks back is okay.
Maybe towards the end of
Towards the end, yes. When millet is flowering, you can put your cowpea. But groundnut, a little bit earlier than now. And then how do you do the intercropping? Meaning how many rows of this and how many rows of that?
Very important.
It depends on what you want. If your interest is more on millet, then you should have more rows of millet with fewer rows of the other crop. On the variety of the cowpea, the variety of the sesame, and the variety of the groundnut. If it's an erect type that stands, yes, that means you need a just shorter distance between hill to hill. And if it is the spreading type, you need wider space. Because if you bring it very close, it will overlap. If it overlaps, means it's competing for space. Competing for water, competing for nutrient. So it depends on the variety.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's good if you want us to advise tell us the groundnut or the cowpea, which variety you are interested in, then we can now advise the spacing for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Talking about the maximum land use into this intercrop, is it with only groundnut, or with only cowpea, or with only sesame, or 2 out of 3, or all the 3, including the millet?
You can go.
Possible?
It's possible. You can go all the 3.
Okay.
You can go all the 3. Yes.
But no challenges, no. Because you said the timing.
Yes.
Why I'm asking this question is because the timing right now, as we speak, 2nd week of September.
Sure.
We said for the groundnut, maybe the time has elapsed.
Exactly.
But for coffee, you can even plant today.
Yes.
Sesame, I don't know.
Yes.
Now, bringing them all in one, how do you do the operations? We are going to try it now that it is not late. I already have my groundnut and millet already.
Yeah.
Now it is not late. Let me add another one.
Okay.
Space.
Okay, I will use myself as a farmer.
Okay.
Now, since I'm also farming.
Yes.
So I will use myself as the farmer. I'm a millet farmer. And then from the beginning, when I'll plant my millet, I make sure that I leave space. Because in a month's time, I'm coming back to fix my groundnut.
Yes.
So that's how you bring it. So you leave space for groundnut. And if I have the intention of planting cowpea also, that means the space I'll not leave now, I'll leave now. It's not only for groundnut. I plan how to space from the beginning. So I plant my millet with wider spacing because I know the variety of groundnut I'll put, and then I know the variety of cowpea that I'll put. So depending on, since I know and I know the distance, maybe it's the erect type or this in between.
Yes.
Or not on the same row, but I left an empty row in between, maybe 2 rows of groundnut, then